Hello and welcome to GPTV on Tuesday the 16th of December. My name is Phillip Kingston.
And I'm Gary Pia.
And Gary, can you believe we made it? We made it to the end of the year.
Yep, no worries. This is the last show for the year, Phil. And what a big year it's been. We're debating as to whether it's been our biggest year in business. I think it might have been, certainly in terms of volume of sales. Darren Krongold, our in-house statistician, says this is the most sales we've ever made in a year.
It has been an enormous year, Gary. And I've got to tell you, quite frankly, if you'd asked me 3 weeks ago whether I was going to make it through to the end of the year, I got to tell you, I got this cold, which I cannot shake. And I got through yesterday to the end of the options, and I thought, well, made it.
I noticed you, just because I know you that well, I noticed just that little progressively more croaky in your voice, and your daily message started to get a little bit rougher, but we got there, Phil.
Having said that, I think my voice is very, very sexy at the moment, Gary, don't you?
No.
Okay.
Phil, let's talk about the weekend that was. It was a massive weekend. We had 20 auctions and we sold 17 of 20, which brings us up with an 85%. Let's get the last tower of the year up there, Phil, and there's the industry average. And it is?
Gary, the industry average was 71%, but we
good.
clocked in at 85%.
We did
almost get a speeding ticket for clocking in that high this time of year, Gary. So 85% is amazing. In fact, as this episode is going to air, I think we've actually sold another one, which would have given us a 90% clearance rate for the weekend. So it's been huge.
Even better, Phil. That's right. That one's in motion as we speak. Let's talk about some of the results, Phil. We were across 10 suburbs. We were all over the place. We started off with the sale actually through the week of a property that we passed in last weekend. So I think it's always interesting for viewers to know what happens post-auction. And this apartment at 9 at 1017 Glenhuntly Road, Caulfield, was sold for in excess of its asking price. So sharp was the asking price, Philip, that when it was passed in last week, it actually got more than the reserve because there were a number of parties wanting it.
And viewers, when we pass a property in at auction, we always say to our vendor, give us a price that's priced to sell rather than is priced to negotiate. Because a lot of vendors think when they put a private sale asking price, they should pad the asking price out so that they can come down. To the contrary, we say to our clients, price it so that it attracts buyer attention.
That's right.
And price it where you say you will not take $1 less than the asking price. So what often happens, we'll get that price and quite often more because it stimulates interest. The buyers get on the phone, they're attracted by value, and buyers are always attracted to value, Gary.
Sharing some in-house strategy there, Philip. We also sold number 40 Aruna Road. That was passed in last week, sold very promptly thereafter.
And we sold it for well in excess of what we passed the property. The price is undisclosed, but a really good result there.
Congratulations to the vendor.
After we've done the congratulations to the vendor of Aruna Road, let's say congratulations to Daniel Pia and Ben Kingston.
What's going on there?
The VCE results are out. Now, this has shocked and surprised both Gary and I.
I'm demanding a recount of the score.
Well, we shouldn't demand a recount of the score because they may well find the truth. But the reality is that your son, Daniel, and my son, Ben, have got scores where we're both sending them off to a medical clinic for DNA testing.
We have to.
Because quite clearly we cannot be the fathers. A special shout out to Daniel, a special shout out to Ben, who have just clocked in with some amazing VCE results.
I didn't think it was such a big deal because Ben, I'm going to just say this now, Ben got 50, right?
No, you shouldn't have said
I'm going to say it. And I got 50, right? A lot of times. So I didn't know what all the fuss was about.
The trouble is, you got 50 out of 100 and Ben got 50 out of 50.
That's incredible.
And your son clocks in with a massive 46 out of 50, which is just, that's a huge result on its own. And all I can say is that the next generation of Kingstons and Piers is clearly
a lot clever.
So much
smarter I've got a theory that they see what we do and they think we're going to do anything at a young age to not have to work Sundays and evenings and be you idiots in life. So that's my theory.
You know what, based on intellect, Gary, I mean, we've been in business now for, what, 28 years? 25 years, and we've got 2 offices, right? And we got, between the 2 of us, viewers, Gary and I got probably the 2 lowest VCE scores ever recorded. Now, if Daniel and Ben, based on their VCE scores, choose to come into the business,
we'll be gone.
Within about 5 years, they'll have 200 offices.
Exactly, we'll be finished. Absolutely. So we'll keep them away because they'll just take us over, swallow us up and spit us out, Phil.
Correct.
Put us in a little home somewhere and say, you know,
visit us occasionally.
Here's a Rubik's Cube. We'll see you in 2 years when you've worked it out. We started off in East Brighton, Phillip, at 10 Verlaine Street. That was a very exciting result. It is disclosed. The reserve there It was just north of $1 million, Philip. We sold it for $1,210,000, an exciting auction.
Gary, it was a great result, lots of competitive bidding there. And can I just say, Gary, we are doing a huge amount of business in East Brighton.
We are, we love it there.
We are really becoming quite a dominant agent in East Brighton, and it's really quite exciting. We're starting to pay it special attention. We've got a team next year that are going to focus on it. That's going to be led by Leon Gusenfitter, but we're doing a lot in this pocket. It's just been tremendous.
Phil, the Huntley Road, Elstonwick, I had the pleasure of auctioning that terrific apartment 207 at 424. A lovely apartment sold for $623,000, Philip, with 3 bidders going for it. While I was there, you were at 334 Kooyong Road, Caulfield South. Tell us a bit about this beautiful period home, Philip.
Well, special shout out to the vendors there, who are a family that we've known for quite some time.
Lovely people.
They are reluctantly moving on. Having said that, they're staying in the area and just moving into something very different. But this is the most amazing house, and we sold that in the post-auction negotiations, Gary, for $2,025,000. Great price for that house, but it's just a beautiful house, one of those feel-good homes.
Congratulations to buyer and vendor alike. Philip, I was in High Street, Paran, just after that, and auctioned a 1-bedroom apartment. This is a lovely little apartment, and Nikki Janover was involved with the sale. From start to end, it sold for $376,000, which I think is a pretty strong price. 3 bidders going for it there. There wasn't any parking on title, but it was a terrific apartment and sold very well.
And viewers, you need to kind of keep in mind that 1-bedrooms now, as a result of 2014, $350,000 to $400,000 is kind of the entry level into good 1-bedroom apartments, with a lot of them now selling between $400,000 and $450,000, and not uncommon for us to sell a 1-bedroom apartment these days for $500,000. So we've seen some massive changes to the pricing of 1- and 2-bedroom apartments.
We trekked from Paran to the sunny shores of St Kilda, Philip, in Marine Parade, 1 at 49 Marine Parade. Leo Samuel handled that, sold very, very well for an undisclosed price. And then you were back in Brighton to round out the day, Philip, in Roslyn Street, 56A Roslyn Street, Brighton. The property price, sale price is undisclosed, unfortunately, but a very good result.
Gary, it was a huge result. We had 5 bidders bidding for it.
Yes.
And we had a duel, really, that lasted for about $100,000 between 3 bidders, but it sold so far well in excess of the reserve price, Gary. It was a fantastic result.
Terrific. Congratulations again, vendor and buyer. Phil, I started off on Sunday morning whilst you were in Lumia Road. We'll talk about that in a moment. I was in Balaclava Road, this fantastic company share title Art Deco style apartment.
Company share, was it?
It was, Philip.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was. And
that's about the only one company share apartment in Caulfield, I
think so too.
A lot of them in St Kilda, but not. I can't think of another one in Caulfield.
Didn't hold back the popularity of it, Philip, nor the price. It sold for $725,000.
Wasn't there one sold in the building a couple of weeks before?
There was one, Philip. It sold for $625,000.
Okay, so viewers, you might be interested to know that. You can't say don't be a bitch in our last episode. It's worth pointing out that another agent that's not us sold, but another well-known Caulfield agency sold one there for $625, and we sold ours for how much?
$725. But look, the other one was a bit smaller than ours. So
was it? Okay.
We'll let them off the hook there, Philip.
So we won't publicly name and shame them.
Don't be mean. 21 Lumia Road, Philip.
Been a long year, Gary. I'm tired.
You were tired and bitchy. 21 Lumia Road, Phil. It was passed in, but pretty hot to trot in terms of that looking like it's going to be sold.
I think it might be sold, Gary, as this goes to air. So viewers, drive down Lumia Road. If there's a sold sticker on the board, we called it right. And if there's not a sold sticker on the board, give us a call and we'll show you through.
Exactly right. 55 Sebastopol Street. I joined you on Sunday for that very, very popular auction, Philip.
Gary,
you did well there.
I think the viewers need to see this property because this is an amazing result.
Yes.
Is the price disclosed?
It is sold for $1,190,000.
Okay, so what's interesting about this property, viewers, is that it was gorgeous, 3 bedrooms and 2.5 bathrooms.
Yes.
But this property was built on a corner of Sebastopol Street and Inkerman.
Yes.
Good looking modern development.
Yes.
But the floor plate, the land size of this property is about 90 square metres.
Yeah.
So 90 square metres of land, which is 1,000 square feet of land, but it doesn't get any smaller than that. That's like a Tokyo property.
Yes.
Built up over 3 floors. Had wonderful amenity to it. So it just goes to show what you can do with good architecture and good design. So congratulations to those vendors.
Absolutely. Phil.
Funnily enough, sorry, the story should go on. They've moved from 90 square metres in East St Kilda to 1,100 square metres in East St Kilda. So they've gone from this gorgeous, sexy little townhouse to this sprawling Art Deco family home on 1,100 square metres of land.
Phil, we venture then to 74 Carlingford Street, Caulfield South. Now, while you were conducting that auction, I went inside, met the vendor, who is a very, very lovely fellow. He's in his 90s, I believe. A very nice chap. Been in the property for some 60 years, or in excess of 60 years, Philip. That's probably the most knockout result of the weekend in terms of gap from reserve to sale price. The reserve there was $1,100,000 and it sold for $1,405,000. Just shows how hot land is.
There was an auction, Gary, where I gave away six boxes of favourite chocolates, 2 double passes to Village Cinema Gold Class,
Johnny Walker
two
Blue.
bottles of Johnny Walker Blue. So we were giving stuff away, as you would do at this time of year, Gary, to get into the festive mood of the end of 2014.
Phil, very generous of that auction you were. I couldn't stop it happening under
Do you know what, Gary? There's an old saying is the more you give, the more you get.
That's true, Phil. You know I believe in that too.
Yeah.
I always like to play the bad guy. 148.
You do it really well.
It comes naturally. 148, Sycamore Street, Caulfield South. That was the last auction, Philip. That sold for $1,005,000 in excess of the quote range, and that rounded it out.
And I just want to give a special shout out, Gary, about that property in Sycamore Street, because it was renovated beautifully by a fellow by the name of Gregory Frid from Project Friday. And if you're looking for a builder or somebody to transform a property or build something new for you, he is sensational. So that's a special shout out to Gregory Frid, Project Friday. If you want his number, give me a call.
Now, Philip, this weekend, it is very late in the year. We are looking at the very late part of December, Phil. But we do have 2 auctions on Saturday.
We do.
On the 20th, we have one at 10:30 a.m. Have a look at this little beauty, Philip. This is 17 at 41 Northcote Avenue. What a great address. I love this block. And this is a great opportunity, a little snap purchase, a little Christmas present perhaps, Philip.
Gary, you could gift wrap this one almost. It's 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1 car space. Great entry into the market. It's been beautifully schmicked, Gary, which is a real estate expression, beautifully schmicked up.
Phil, your final auction of the year takes place on Saturday at 11:30 a.m. in Orrong Road, this magnificently renovated property. We did shoot GPTV from there last week.
That is a sexy house.
Tell us about this home.
We've used the word sexy a lot this year, but we've had a lot of sexy housing.
We
have. And apartments and blocks of land. But
sexy blocks of land.
This is a sexy house. Yep. Been renovated beautifully by a couple that just seem to be able to know exactly what to do with period homes. Beautiful mixture of period detail, but modern, stunning fit out. So that's a ripper, Gary. Looking forward to doing that.
Leon Gizzard Fit Handles, 119 Orrong Road, Elswick. Be there for the shutdown to 2014. We are now listing for 2015.
We are, very heavily.
And it would be remiss of us to leave the show without talking about this feature property that we're at, Philip, because this is one of the few properties that we haven't sold this year. Phil, we are at 17 Hornby Street in East Brighton. Talking about East Brighton, have a look at this.
Gary, I reckon this house will sell within a couple of weeks. So if you want to have a last-minute purchase for 2014, this has got to be it. I feel like I'm in Port Douglas here, Gary. The pool, those palm trees in the back are just absolutely stunning. This is the most beautifully built home. It's in impeccable condition. Somebody can move straight into this and not spend a cent. I reckon this has got to be a must-buy for the end of 2014 or the start of 2015.
There's a reason that the vendors haven't moved out of here, Philip, for so long, because it is a beautiful home with its great entertaining areas. And not only that, we've got actually one of our star performers in our office building right next door.
Yes, there's going to be a brand new house next door.
A brand new house with a real estate agent who has actually purchased it. I think she'll make a great neighbour, but what I can say is that just shows the confidence we have in this area and this pocket. So get yourself down to Hornby Street in East Brighton, ring Leo or Viv Samuel for a private viewing. We'll get you through here. That's the year.
Gary, what a big year. I've got to tell you, we've got lots of plans for 2015 viewers. Stay tuned. There's going to be some incredible announcements that we will make in February about what we're doing with the business.
Yes.
So at Gary Peer & Associates, we are committed to always coming back at the start of a year
something exciting.
With something exciting to work on, something exciting to announce. Thank you for watching GPTV this year.
And thank you
I must say the feedback
Yep.
we get from viewers about the show has been fantastic. And we're going to have this movie night, Gary. I think we need to announce that when we come back. When are we coming back? First episode is when?
Our first episode, Philip, is on February the 10th, Tuesday the 10th of February. We're looking forward to coming back then. We've got auctions rolling on pretty much straight away from there, so we've got a nice little break.
So this movie night, I want it to be a thank you to GPTV viewers.
You could do that.
We'll have it at the Classic Cinema.
Yeah.
How many people does the big cinema hold?
300 there.
So they're going to be 300. We'll have some wine. We'll have some popcorn. We'll have some
Coke.
We'll have some Coke, and we'll have ice creams. But we've got to find a good movie,
Sounds
Gary,
healthy.
that will capture the imagination of our viewers, and it cannot be a real estate show.
No.
Well, we could actually, I suppose, splice all of our GPTVs together. A highlights package go for 3
Wouldn't
hours.
it be a sellout?
Wouldn't it be a great night out?
It'd be incredible. It's been a great year. Thank you all for your support, not only in watching GPTV, but also the opportunities that you give us and have given us through the history of our business. We've got so many people that watch this week in, week out, who have given us properties to rent out and sales and have bought from us and sought our advice and helped us become the success we are. We don't take it for granted. We are still a couple of guys that see ourselves as a couple of teenage buddies that just set up to service people and have fun in the process, and we've enjoyed doing that.
We have.
It's been a great journey. Thank you all. I wish you a wonderful, safe summer and a terrific 2015. For the last time in 2014, I'm Gary Peer.
Enjoy the summer holidays. Look forward to seeing you next year. I'm Phillip Kingston. Thanks for watching.
Bye.